Most of you this week have received an iPod Touch. The iPod Touch was meant to add a new component to this class, and that component is called Mobile Matters. In this short slide deck, I'm going to show you and talk to you about ways you can use this iPod Touch, which some of the applications that we are learning in this class. Each of the challenges has a section called Mobile Ideas. At one of the Hangouts on Monday, we discussed different ways to use the iPod Touch to learn how you can integrate mobile into your Google Ideas or lesson plans or unit plans. As you can see from the charts on this graph or infographic, mobile is growing at a pace unmatched in the history of technology. Over 75% of the world has access to mobile phones. Many of our students have access to mobile devices. Whether these devices are a full-fledged mobile phone or an iPod Touch or another device like a Nook or a Kindle that can access mobile is definitely becoming part of our world. And there is no indication that this is going to slow down. As a matter of fact, by 2016, mobile data traffic will have more than double the amount of traffic we see today. Every year, we can find a list of the technologies that are on the horizon for education in the Horizon Report. Between 2009 and 2010, mobile started to appear in the 1 year or less category on the Horizon Report. We're going to go through a brief list of some apps that might work well with some of the Google tools or some of the things that you can do with Google tools. The first one is called the Google Search app. Go to the App Store and search for Google Search. This app not only gives you access to Google Search, but it also gives you access to Google Applications. Notice the Applications icon in the bottom corner, and finally it allows you to do voice search or photo search. Download the Google Search app and play around with the different ways that you can use it to access your Google tools. The long-awaited Google Drive app is now here for the iPhone or the iPod Touch or the iPad. If you download Google Drive app, you can explore some of the new features that it allows you to use to access your Google Docs. Many of us feel that the Google Drive app is more of a viewer than a creator, and we're waiting for new iterations of it to give us new features. It still does not allow us to create Google presentations and send things back up to Google Drive, but it does allow us to view documents offline and has the promise of being much more. Give it a try. The iPod Touch, the iPad, the iPhone come configured with Safari as your default browser. But you can go to the App Store and download Chrome. Not only will this give you another browser, it has some ways to personalize your viewing and sync it with your Chrome experience on your desktop or laptop. In this class, you learn to use Google Forms. Although I would not suggest creating a Google form on the iPod Touch, you can easily fill one out. Create Google Forms for your students to fill out. Those with iPod Touches, iPhones, or iPads can fill this out very easily. You now have a whole set of clickers at your disposal. When using Google tools on an iDevice such as an iPod, an iPad, or a smartphone, usually the display will default to the mobile version. This makes it easier to view. But there are times when some of the features you want are not available on the mobile version. If you can't find the feature you're looking for, try looking for an indication somewhere on the web page that says Continue to Desktop Version. Click on that, and you may find the device has features that are not displayed on the mobile version. Not all features are available on the desktop or mobile version that Google tools have. Google Apps now has Google Plus. If you are not in the K-12 domain, we've been using these for Hangouts. You can even use your mobile device to participate in Hangouts if you have a Google Plus account. Remember though that Google Plus is not available on K-12 domains. When setting up your Gmail in the Add Mail accounts on your iDevice, most people tend to go towards Gmail. Set up a Gmail account. That offers you different features than setting up an Exchange account. If you'd like to see the difference between the features that setting up a Gmail account and Exchange account have, follow the link that's on this slide. This will also give you instructions on how to set up the Gmail account. They're pretty close to the same, except when you hit Add an Exchange account, put in your Google address, your password, and when it asks you for a server name, type in m.google.com. Read more about the different pros and cons to using your Gmail versus Exchange way of setting up email. Also, there is a Gmail app, a third-party app not put out by Google that offers you more search features than the native mail. You can try downloading this app and see if you like this version better. I love using my different Google calendars on my iDevice. You can do this with your students also. You can set up homework calendars or event calendars or deadline calendars and share them with your students. If your students have an iPod, they can set up your calendar that you share with them on their iPod. Notice that different calendars will show up in different colors, which makes it easy to tell which events are your events and which ones are shared with you by your teacher or someone else who's shared a calendar with you. My absolute favorite way to use an iDevice with Google Tools is to use the Picasa app. There are two Picasa apps that I like. One is free, it's called Pick on Hand, and the other has a slight cost, and it's called Web Album. The Web Album has a few more features than Pick on Hand and allows you to view other people's albums also. But use your camera and your photo rolls to take pictures. Embed a Picasa web album on your website, and while you're on the go, use Pick on Hand or the Web Album app and upload pictures to your Picasa web albums. If your Picasa web album is uploaded on your Google site or embedded on your Google site, it will automatically update with new pictures without you having to touch a computer. This is one of my favorite ways to use photos and videos in Google Sites. When you create videos on your iDevice, and many apps allow you to save to your camera roll in video format, it's not always easy to get them off your iDevice. Anytime a video is more than a minute long, trying to email it to someone will usually result in a message that says this video is too long to email. So I've discovered an app called PhotoSync. PhotoSync allows you to get movies and photos off your iDevice to several different places, including Dropbox, another iPhone or iPod, your own desktop computer, or your Picasa web album. PhotoSync has a slight cost to it, but it allows so much more flexibility. Every time you have an app that saves as a movie, you can get it off easily if you have PhotoSync on your device. One of the ways that you can work with Google Tools on an iDevice is to use Google Maps, which comes built in. You can also download the Google Earth app, which gives you additional views. It is not possible at this time to create Google Earth files or Google Maps on your iDevice, but you can certainly view them, create some, and share them with students. There was a time when YouTube was banned in most schools, but more and more schools have opened up YouTube because of some of the valuable content on it. And even those schools that haven't opened YouTube will consider opening YouTube EDU or YouTube for Schools. If your school does not have YouTube open, you may want to get a committee together to take a look at some of the new options that are available for allowing students access to the rich resources found on YouTube. The nice thing about YouTube on an iDevice is that it displays the videos in ways that some flash videos don't display well on an iPad or an iPod Touch. Another of my favorite ways to use the iPod Touch or the iPad or my smartphone is to add pictures from my blog. If you or your students have a blog, you can use your mobile device to quickly add pictures to your blog. You can even add text. But one of the things that it does not do well is format text. So if you would like to add bold and italics and fancy HTML or other features, you'll have to use a computer to do that. But the Blogger app works great for adding pictures and text to your blogs. If you find yourself wanting to use your iDevice for blogging and want more features, you might want to look at Blogsy and BlogPress. Both of these are full-featured and add many of the options, such as formatting, adding videos, adding media from other places. Blogsy is a little bit more expensive and offers more features. BlogPress is a little easier to use and offers less features as far as blogging. Neither of these offer all the features that blogging on a computer does, but each of these allows you to add videos and extra formatting to your blog if you're a serious blogger. Here's an app that a lot of people would not associate with using Google Tools. Goodreader is an app that sort of works like file management and connects many different services together. You'll notice there's a feature called Create New Connection, and Google Docs is one of the options. If you connect your Google Apps account with Goodreader in your iDevice, you can download things directly from your Google Docs, but then you can open it in different applications. This particular presentation I downloaded from my Google Docs using Goodreader, and then I used that to open it in Explain Everything, which allowed me to add voice. So Goodreader might be something that might interest you as you start to use Google Docs more and more with your iDevice. If you are a die-hard productivity tools user, you love to use docs, spreadsheets, and presentations regularly. Google Docs and its sharing features and commenting features are something that I've come to depend on. However, not all of these features are available on an iDevice. Some people use QuickOffice Pro or Office HD to create presentations and connect them quickly with Google. It does not offer you the synchronous share capabilities, but it does allow you to download work on it, upload it back up to your iDevice. Two apps you might want to look at are QuickOffice Pro and Office HD if you use productivity apps quite a bit. iWorks by Apple are other options, and that includes Keynote, Numbers, and Pages, but these do not connect with your Google Docs at this time. If mobile interests you, consider joining the ISTE Mobile Special Interest Group, or SIG. If you go to their webpage, you'll find all kinds of research and resources and curricular-related apps for people who are interested in mobile and learning.